Download the app Maths Guide from Google Play today. Hi friends, after learning the basics of limits, we now proceed to how exactly to solve the limits. Yes, the different types of limits. So we now focus on the solving of the limits. Now we begin with the most easiest one, and those are the determinate forms, the values of which you can determine directly. Right, so we begin with the determinate form. And when can you do that? Yes, when the denominator value is not equal to 0. Now let us consider a very simple example of limit. Say limit of x square plus x plus 1 upon x plus 1 as x approaches 1. Now here we directly substitute the limiting value of x, that is approaching value of x. So we get 1 squared plus 1 upon 1 plus 1. So finally we have 1 plus 1 plus 1 upon 2, which results into 3 upon 2. So remember, whenever the denominator is not 0, you could directly substitute. Yes, I repeat, directly substitute. Substitute what? The approaching value of x. Yes, you can substitute the approaching value of x in the limit, and you obtain the limiting value. So directly substitute the approaching value of x and obtain the limit. Yes, so this was the determinate form. Now we proceed to the next form. We now check the second category, and that is how to find the limits of, say, the undefined forms. Now undefined forms, what are they? Whenever you have the denominator as 0, okay, say a upon 0, that's an undefined form. And how to find the limits of the indeterminate form. Now there are 6 indeterminate forms, but I'll be just talking about the 0 upon 0 form. Okay, now there could be 3 approaches. The first one is the simplification technique. So you should apply simplification techniques, okay, when you see the 0 in the denominator. And what are those? You could simply factorize. If there are algebraic expressions, you could factorize and see if it simplifies, or you could use some formula or algebraic identities. So you could use a formula or any identities and simplify. Or if there are square roots present, then you could also use a technique of rationalization. Yes, so you could rationalize. So this is the first approach. You could simplify. Next, the second approach could be you could bring the limit in one of the standard forms. So the second approach could be standardization. Yes, the standardization of the limit. Now there are 6 standard limits. The first one is limit of x raised to n minus a raised to n upon x minus a as x approaches a. Now the value for this limit is n times a raised to n minus 1. Now the second standard limit is limit of, as x approaches 0, sine x upon x. The value is 1. The third one is limit as x approaches 0, tan x upon x, which is also equal to 1. The fourth one is limit, again x approaches 0, of a raised to x minus 1 upon x, and its value is log of a to the base e. The next one is limit of 1 plus x raised to 1 by x, again x approaches 0. The answer for this is e. Yes. Next, limit of log of 1 plus x upon x, again x approaching 0, is equal to 1. So you could bring the limit in one of these standard forms. And the last, if the first and second approach fail, then you could use the method of substitution. Yes, and see if it works for you. So what exactly we substitute? Here what you do is you put x equal to a plus h. Now a, yes, that x equal to a plus h. Now a is nothing but the approaching value of x. Then as x approaches a, we could say h will approach 0. So you could try the third method as well. So these are the basic 3 ways of solving a limit in general. So once again, happy learning.
Like it, share it, and subscribe to our channel for more such interesting videos. Thank you.